A foul is going to be called on the floor against Arnett. I did not even see that she had checked into the game. But she is, in fact, in. Let me go ahead and fix this scoreboard for those of you at home. And now the Lady Raiders on the attack. It's Maddie Davis at the top of the key. She has a screen set for her by Fields. Fields down low. A nice bounce pass from Davis to Fields. Fields right in the dead center of the paint, puts the shot up and in. She is fouled and sent to the line for 2 shots. She is shooting 75% today. She has 5 points already here in the third quarter. Shot is no good. So now she's shooting 3 for 5, just 60%, which is about par for the course. Bodeker with the ball in the right wing, nearly stolen away by Arnett, but Bodeker able to reel it in. She's met by the trap on a picked up dribble. She's going to launch it over the top and find Davis. Bria Ginnivan gets the steal on a pass that was intended to go inside to one of the 2 post players. Maddie Davis takes over with the ball. It's Fields to Arnett, to Meyer, back to Fields. Fields drives to the left hand. I'm not sure what they're going to, I think they're going to call a 3-second violation. Grayson Hipfel and Caitlin Sellers both check in, as well as Kirkpatrick for the Lady Buffalo. 38-11. First time Lady Buffalo have scored since late in the first quarter, just a little bit earlier. Shot up from the low block on the backside. That was Paisley who attempted that shot. It's going to roll out of bounds, last touched by the Lady Buffalo, and Arnett is going to give the inbounds pass. 3:45, it's 38-11. Meyer gets the ball to Hipfel, Hipfel to Fields. Fields driving in with the right hand, puts the shot up. She's going to be fouled on the push, and she's going to shoot 2 more. Karma Fields doing a great job of getting herself into the traffic, but not being whistled on the charging. First shot by Fields is up and in. Like I said, she consistently gets herself to the line. She's now shooting 6 for 8 as she misses the second free throw there. Ball in the hands of Davis for the Lady Buffalo. She picks up her dribble and is met by Meyer. Meyer tries to get help defense over on Boone. Boone tries the 3 and did not hit. Rebounded by the Lady Raiders. Meyer puts up a shot and it's blocked away by Prairie View. Right at the last minute. 3:10 left here in the third. The score is 39-11. Skip pass over the top, nearly goes backcourt, but it's reeled in just in time by Davis. Davis tries the jumper from the right elbow, can't hit. Karma Fields with the rebound. Fields drives with 2 Buffalo behind her and 1 playing face guard defense. Meyer top of the key. Over to Hipfel in the right wing. Hipfel gets it to Meyer. Meyer tries a little post move, rolls around, and cannot hit on the baby hook. Driving is Davis. Davis puts up a shot that's no good, gets her own rebound, kick out to Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick hits the long 2. It's the first time Kirkpatrick has scored the entirety of the game. She puts 2 on the board for the Lady Buffalo. Lob pass over the top. It's Grayson Hipfel. Hipfel with a little pump fake, trying to get some separation between her and Bodeker. And Heather Arnett nails it from about 19 feet out. Her first scores of the game. And now the Lady Raiders lead 42-13. They've gone on a scoring spree in the second and now in the third. Couple shots put up by the Lady Buffalo, can't hit, and it's Karma Fields who ends up picking the ball. Fields with a nice skip pass to Arnett. Arnett gets it inside to Hipful. Hipful tries the shot, and a foul is going to be called. A foul is going to be called on Fields before she even passed the ball, evidently. That's her second personal foul.
Number 23, Riley Forrest. Number 22, Anna Hogarth. And coming
Forrest.
on number 1, Sydney Frankenberry.
Forrest, Frankenberry, Sellers, and Hogarth all step into the ball game. A three is going to be attempted by Kirkpatrick. Shot is no good, and it's rebounded by Hogarth. Lob pass intended for Grayson Hipful. Was a little too high and a little too inside. She was sealed by her defender, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Frontenac. So now Boediger will take the ball at the top of the key. She's picked up by Frankenberry. Now Boediger in the left puts up a floater with the right hand, gets her own rebound. Frontenac out in a 2-3 zone. Boone driving right. Can't get anything going, so she finds Boediger again in the left. Back to Boone, top of the key. Met by Frankenberry. And finally a broken up pass by Hogarth. And in the transition, trying to get it to Grayson Hipful. Hipful just couldn't quite get it under control on the transition pass. And it's going to be whistled on the double dribble. 42-13. Frontenac leads by 29 with the final 40 seconds left of the third quarter. Inside pass to Walker. A foul is going to be called on the floor, and that's Hogarth. That's her second personal, team's fifth of the half. Lob pass to Kirkpatrick to Boediger. Left wing back to Kirkpatrick, top of the key. Boone cutting, trying to get open, and finally does on the right wing. A crossover. Finds Paisley. Paisley puts it up for three and nails it. That's the first time Paisley's been on the board. 3 points for her, and now the score 42-16. Timeout. No. Just out of bounds. And Kirkpatrick's going to give the inbounds pass from the near sideline. Boediger to Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick is picked up by Hipful in the 2-3 zone. Also by Forrest. Bounce pass inside is batted away, but picked up by Boone. And a jump ball is going to be called. The possession arrow favors the Lady Buffalo. So they retain possession of the ball for the final 2.9 seconds of the third quarter. Score is 42-16. Frontenac leading by 26. Inbounds pass finds Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick fires the three and cannot make it fall. And that will be the score after 24 minutes of play. Frontenac 42, Prairie View 16. We're going to take a 1 minute break. You're listening to Frontenac Raider Basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streaming live on ESPN 1007.com. Well, the Lady Buffalo were able to score 7 there in that third quarter of action. And now 10 seconds have expired from the clock. A foul on the floor committed by Kirkpatrick. That's her 4th personal. Karma Fields is sent to the line. First shot no good. Second shot does fall. And the Lady Raiders lead 43-16. Shot is up by the Lady Buffalo. Batted away by Maddie Davis on the attempted rebound. Ost has the ball on the baseline, gets it inside. And that's Boone at the top of the key. Now Ost is picked up by Karma Fields. Over in the right wing, it's Walker inside, and a good inside pass to Kirkpatrick is going to get her on the board once again. She has 4 on the night. Maddie Davis at the top of the key. She's met by a Lady Buffalo defense that looked like it was a little bit of confusion there for a second. Not very well spaced out and trying to figure out who was on who. It appears as though they're in a man-to-man defense. Bria Ginnivan gives the inbounds pass to Butcher. Butcher for deep 2. I thought it was going to be whistled a 3 for a moment, but she may have an opportunity at a 3-point play as she heads to the line. Boone picks up her first personal foul. And the shot is no good by Butcher. So that brings the score 45-18. And Kirkpatrick puts 2 more off the inside pass. So they break the 20-point mark as Frontenac leads by 25 points, 45-20 with 6:30 left to go here in regulation. Reagan Hipful to Bria Ginnivan. Ginnivan to Butcher. Butcher top of the key. She is picked up by Boone. Boone tips the pass. And it falls into the hands of Davis. Now Ginnivan fought against Ost, but Ost will rip it away, and the Lady Buffalo will be on the offensive side of things. Ost pulls up from the 3-point line. Noticed nobody was coming up to play defense on her. She went again and hit the 3. So now the Lady Raiders only lead by 22. It's a 30-second timeout, and we'll take it with them. We're going to send it back to the studio. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network. We continue 4th quarter action here in Frontenac, Kansas. Lady Raiders lead by 22. It's 45-23 with 5:48 left to go here in the 4th. Right now at the top of the key, it's Ost. Ost drives to the left. Pass is tipped by Bria Ginnivan. Last touch by the Lady Raiders. Giving the inbounds pass is Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick trying to find someone or anyone, and she finally does find Paisley in the backcourt. It's Ost now in the right wing. She's picked up by both Butcher and Fields. And from the right wing baseline, it's Walker for three and can't draw iron. Maddie Davis now streaking up the court off the pass from Ginnivan. Hipful, a pass a little ways behind Maddie Davis. And it's intercepted by Ost. Ost bounce pass, pump fake by Paisley. Paisley drives in, and Karma Fields and Reagan Hipful both fighting for that. Then it's a kick out to Kirkpatrick, and Kirkpatrick coming alive here in the fourth quarter. She has 7 in the fourth, 9 on the night. Karma Fields met by a double team, and a timeout's going to be called by Frontenac. Coach Scott Fields a little frustrated, and he's going to take a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. 4:45 left to go. Lady Raiders lead by 19. It's 45-26. Raiders have had a tough outing here in the fourth quarter. But right now on the court, Karma Fields has 15 points. Maddie Davis has 10. Abby Butcher has 9. And Bria Ginnivan has 2. For the Buffalo, leading scorer is Kirkpatrick with 9. Ost with 8. It's Butcher at the top of the key. She finds Davis in the left. You can say something. You can say a lot of things about Prairie View. One thing you cannot say is that they are unconditioned. They're still fighting just as hard as they were at the beginning of the contest. Maybe even harder. Pass is batted out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Buffalo, so Maddie Davis will give the inbounds pass. It's Bria Ginnivan in the left wing. Ginnivan finds it inside to Hipful. Hipful up and off the glass. That's the first time she will score on the night. She has 2 points, coming alive now in the fourth, on the scoring column at least. She's had active hands on defense all night, but just never really found the hole in the goal. Timeout is called by the Lady Buffalo, and it is a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. You're listening to Frontenac Raider Basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streaming live on ESPN1007.com. 1 minute, and we're back.
World Class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World Class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
Inbounds pass for the Lady Buffalo was stolen away by Heather Arnett. Arnett gets it to Meyer. Meyer to Davis. Davis drives inside the paint, tries to put a shot up, and a blocking foul is going to be called as she is walking towards the line. That foul will be on Ost. And Ost fouls out with that one, sending Maddie Davis to the line. Maddie Davis, one of the better free throw shooters on the team, at least historically. She misses the first one as I jinxed her. Second one is underway, high arcing shot, and that one's good. First time Maddie Davis has scored here in the fourth quarter. I turn my mic up just a hair. And Bodeker with the ball to the left. She's met by Walker. Walker gets an inside pass that is picked off by Maddie Davis. Davis drives inside, gets the pass over the top to Hipful. Hipful off the glass on his turnaround shot. And she goes for her own rebound, and it's a tie-up. The possession arrow in favor of the Lady Buffalo. 48-26. My scoreboard's just a little off here on the online stream. Bodeker crosses the half-court line, gets it to Boone. Boone loses control, and it is Meyer who backs it over to Grayson Hipfel, and Hipfel scores in transition her first 2 points of the night. And lots of different players getting on the scoring column here in the fourth quarter. Score is 50-26 in favor of the Frontenac Lady Raiders. 24-point advantage. 3 minutes left here in the final quarter of play. It's Kirkpatrick who's going to give the inbounds pass on the far sideline. Kirkpatrick looking and finding Paisley. Paisley to Bodeker. Bodeker last touched the ball as it rolled out of bounds. It's going to be, no. They're going to say it was last touched by Arnett. So the Lady Buffalo will retain possession of the ball. Skip pass to Kirkpatrick to Walker. Walker for three off the back iron. Rebounded by Meyer. Driving inside with a nice Euro step. It's Maddie Davis. The feet were set and she recognized that, so she got out of the way just in time. Knocked down the two-pointer, but she was fouled and sent to the line. That foul was on Walker. That's Walker's fourth personal foul. Team's ninth. Maddie Davis' shot is no good. The Lady Raiders get their own rebound. Nearly falls out of bounds, and Grayson Hipfel tried to save it. Unfortunately, her foot was on the line as she tried to save. The score is 52-26. Raiders have taken a 26-point lead with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go here in the final quarter. Bodeker in the left wing, driving with her right hand. Finds Boone. Boone is going to pick up a traveling violation. A turnover as an almost entirely new set of Lady Raiders check in. Anna Hogard, Caitlin Sellers, Forrest, and Frankenberry all check in. Forrest with the ball to Arnett. Arnett, a little behind the back dribble, gets it to Forrest. Forrest to Frankenberry, over the top to Sellers. Sellers off the backboard, cannot connect. So close. And Heather Arnett's going to be whistled on going out of bounds there. She tried to reel it in before it went outside the near sideline. On the attack are the Lady Buffalo. It's Bodeker. Little stutter step. Gets it to Walker. Walker inside. And it's all tied up. They're going to call a hold on Caitlin Sellers. That's Sellers' first personal foul, team's sixth, so Lady Buffalo still not in the single bonus. They will have to take it from their own baseline. Inbounds pass is batted away by Hogard. Paisley giving the inbounds pass yet again, and it's Bodeker to Boone, top of the key. Now the Lady Buffalo just roaming around the three-point line, trying to find someone open inside. And finally, Boone is going to be whistled on a traveling violation to end that offensive bout for the Lady Buffalo. 52-26, a minute 45 left to go here in the final quarter. Heather Arnett with the ball. She is met by a couple Lady Buffalo. It's Frankenberry in the right wing. Skip pass to Arnett. Arnett faked the long two. Gets it to Hogard. Skip to Frankenberry. Now Forrest in the right wing next to the baseline. Forrest drives. Kick out to Arnett. Arnett with a couple of pump fakes to Hogard in the left wing. Hogard for three. Knocks it down. Another three-pointer for her. She has 6 on the night. She had a three-pointer in the second quarter and hadn't shot the ball since. Score is 54-26. No, I'm sorry. I believe it's 55-26. The scoreboard on the wall seems to be a little off. It's Frankenberry in transition, puts up the high arcing shot, cannot connect. Looked like there may have been some push on it. Perhaps they're not counting. That had to have been a three-pointer. I'll check with the scorer's table, but I believe the score is actually 55-26. Transition shot by Paisley. The left wing for the Lady Buffalo falls out of bounds. Lady Raiders are going to be met by a full court press. And it's Arnett driving up the court. 2-on-3 situation. Forrest at the elbow puts up the shot, and it falls no good. Final 30 seconds of the game. 54-26 is what it says on the scoreboard. I have 55. Shot is up by Kellerman. Rebounded by Loomis. Another shot put up. This time it was Davis who attempted that shot. More of a desperation shot to stop the clock. 15.3 seconds. 54-26. See if Davis can knock down these free throws. First one is off the front iron, no good. And second one is 54-27. Final 3 seconds as the clock expires. And your Lady Raiders have picked up their first win of the season. They improved to 1-2, knocking off the Prairie View Lady Buffalo. Final score 54-27, and Scott Fields has to be happy about that win. Held them scoreless in the second quarter, and that really propelled them forward to a victory by 27 points, doubling the score of their opponent. That is it for the Lady Raiders, and now your boys team is going to try to pick up their first win as well. Both teams winless going into this game, but the Lady Raiders pull it out and improve, get one in the win column. And when we come back from this let's make it a 2-minute. When we take this 2-minute break, we will return with Mike Snow and Coach Ryan Varsalona of the Frontenac boys program. Coach Varsalona is going to discuss his previous 2 games and how far he thinks this team can go. 2 minutes, and we're back here with more Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streaming live on ESPN1007.com.
Silverback Fund. Learn more at pittstate.edu/silverback.
And now, back courtside with more Raiders basketball on Radio X, 103.5, The Evolution.
We're back here between games. Frontenac hosting Prairie Views. We're joined by Frontenac boys head coach Ryan Barcelona. And Coach, it was a good game, hard-fought game at half. You had a 1-point lead last Tuesday against Lewisburg, and then some turnovers, cold shooting kind of snowballed on you, and the game got away. Looking back on it, what are some of the areas that you feel like you need to improve upon?
Just looking back at it, it was a chance there in the third quarter. We had 5 straight possessions, and we're up 2 points. We got 5 real good looks right in the paint, and, we just couldn't convert. Couldn't make those shots, finish those plays, and you look back on it, we had a chance to get up maybe 6 or 10 points there. We felt like it could have been a different game throughout. Lewisburg was a good team, and we just had a cold shooting. Now, really, some of the teams where we struggled at the most, and so that's one thing that we really talked about in practice yesterday. Was just we got to finish up the rim. We're getting to the rim, but we just need to finish the play.
Well, when you play the type of schedule that you guys have upgraded it over the years, and the Carthage game, the overtime loss, never felt like the offense had back-to-back possessions that were bad shots, open looks, or missed layups or whatnot. You were able to kind of score and maintain and do enough at the defensive end to kind of hang around in the game. And I felt like, as you said, that point in the game that you mentioned with all the missed shots, then that was followed by a few turnovers, and it seemed to get away. And the good thing about a loss in a game that doesn't really mean anything, don't you feel like in practice that gives you an opportunity to demonstrate to the kids just how important each possession is?
Oh, absolutely. We feel like what we talked about was, when you miss point blank at the rim, it's really an empty possession as far as a turnover in our eyes, because that's the best possible shot in all of basketball. That's what at every level you're trying to get is a shot right at the rim. And when you get those and don't convert them, and we converted them at a 22% rate the other night, you're not going to win a lot of games. Usually our average has been over the past couple of years that we finish right around 60% at the rim. So these games when you're at 22%, there's not going to be a lot of wins there. So we feel like that's going to happen as the season goes along. We'll get back up to our normal percentages, and once that happens, we feel like the results will start to come.
We're talking to Ryan Barcelona, the head coach of the Frontenac boys, and through 2 games, Coach, how would you rate your overall team defense?
You're playing bigger schools, and we've given up 69 points in 2 games, which is, the goal is really 10 points a quarter. But as far as the energy and effort, it's there. It's just a matter of getting the rotations down and getting in a stance, guarding for more than 5 or 6 seconds. We need all 5 guys to get in a stance and guard. And we feel like that'll improve as the season goes along.
You feel like this is a team that if you get in a situation, you can half-court trap or even full-court press if it's late in the game and you're trying to steal a couple extra possessions to get back into it. Do you think this team's capable of that?
I do. Another big stat we like to look at is deflection. And, Tuesday night against Lewisburg, we had 17 deflections. Last Friday night against Carthage, we had 14 deflections. And, we caused Lewisburg to turn it over 24 times. We caused Carthage 23 turnovers. And so we feel like as the season goes on with our wins that we can force more turnovers. And I think we'll get better at that as the season goes.
Well, tonight you play a 3A school finally in the season. You bring in Prairie View. Do you know much about the Buffaloes, Coach? And if so, what do they do that concern you?
Yeah, they're 3-2 on the year, and they're not as big a team as these last 2 that we've faced as far as size-wise. The one thing they do is they can really spread the floor, dribble drive, and they got 2 players that can really shoot the 3. We'd have beat them the past couple of years, but they were dogfights throughout. And I'd say that's one thing about the Prairie View kids. They're going to play extremely hard, and we're going to have to play very well tonight because they're probably going to shoot 30 to 40 3-pointers tonight. And, if they get 15 or 16 of them, we're going to be in trouble. So we really got to play defense and limit them to one look every time down the floor. And these 2 guards can really shoot the ball.
Are you healthy? healthy heading into this one?
Not really. We lost Noah Brooks in the fourth quarter the other night with a high ankle sprain. Still waiting to hear back the diagnosis on that. We had Gunnar Hensley roll his ankle in the fourth quarter as well. So we're hoping we might be able to get some minutes out of him tonight. But it's two bad ankle sprains, and told the kids, if you're gonna play basketball, I don't care what level it's at, whether it's junior high or the YMCA, you're gonna roll your ankle, and it's gonna take time to heal. So you just gotta be patient with it.
Frontenac boys head coach Ryan Barcelona. Coach, thanks for the time and good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
We're back live to Frontenac with the starting lineups and the opening tip of the boys game. This is Raider basketball.
At Canard Eye Care, we have an uncompromised dedication to giving our patients a lifetime of healthy eyes and excellent vision. Our 2 locations host state-of-the-art facilities with top-of-the-line diagnostic equipment and a knowledgeable staff that is always here to take care of you. At Canard Eye Care, we accept most medical and vision insurance. Remember, a lifetime of healthy eyes and excellent vision begins at Canard Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hi, I'm Finley Gorman, former NFL Pro Bowler and proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Like you, I love cheering on our gorillas. But our student-athletes need our support on more than just game days. That's why I'm asking you to participate in the newly created Silverback Fund. When you give to the Silverback Fund, you're helping fund scholarships for our students to excel athletically and academically, taking the royal pride to the next level. Give to the Silverback Fund. Learn more at pittstate.edu/silverback.
S&B Lawn Care, the leading lawn service in the area, offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size, and provide a variety of other services such as leaf blowing, shrub removal, and mulch installation. S&B Lawn Care provides the best service possible from the first call to the completion of the project. Call S&B Lawn Care today at 620-308-6412.
Do you find it hard to work with a print company? At Pitcraft, they are not just your printer, they are your partner. Celebrating 75 years in business, Pitcraft can help and consult you through the process of creating and reproducing your organization's professional image through top-of-the-line commercial, print, and marketing mediums. Working with organizations such as the Kansas City Royals, the University of Kansas Athletics, and the NAIA Drives, Pitcraft believes that their success is a direct result of a great partnership, which is why they do not just sell a product, they sell a team effort to bring innovative and exciting marketing ideas to your organization. To kick off our partnership, we'd like to offer listeners a free full-color banner with your next purchase of $250 or more. Call us at 800-557-7471 or visit www.pitcraft.com for details. Pitcraft, they're not just your printer, they are your partner.
This is Eddie Lomshek, the voice of the Pitt State Gorillas, inviting you to join us for Pitt State basketball. After some time off for final exams to conclude the fall semester, both Pitt State teams head to Sin City for the Las Vegas Hoopla. On Monday the 17th, the women play Embry-Riddle from Florida, and the men face the University of Indianapolis. On Tuesday the 18th, the women play St. Edwards, Texas, while the men take on West Texas A&M.
This is your home for Pitt State basketball. ESPN 100.7. And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5. The Evolution.
Heath Atkins here in Frontenac, Kansas, as we get set and ready for the second game of tonight's action. The second game of tonight's doubleheader. The Frontenac Raiders face off against the Prairie View Buffalo. And the boys are off to a similar start to as the girls. 2 well-contested games. Just Tuesday night when they played against Lewisburg, they were 1 point ahead at half and fell behind in the second half, unable to capitalize against the Wildcats, and they look to improve their record to 1-2 tonight against the Prairie View Buffalo. Prairie View is 2-1 on the season. They have won 2 out of their 3 games, obviously, and have done an exceptional job thus far of getting their season up and rolling. We are getting ready to have the starting lineups announced as well as the national anthem being played. So we are going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, hopefully the national anthem will be over with, and we can get you started for the starting lineups and the opening tip. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on Radio X 103.5 as well as streamed live on ESPN1007.com. 2 minutes and we are back.
S&B Lawn Care, the leading lawn service in the area, offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size, and provide a variety of other services such as leaf blowing, shrub removal, and mulch installation. S&B Lawn Care provides the best service possible from the first call to the completion of the project. Call S&B Lawn Care today at 620-308-6412.
Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. And if you're involved in an accident, it becomes an instant worry, including can your car be repaired properly and in a timely manner. Enter Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing, a company that exemplifies quality work done in a timely manner. Best of all, Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing offers direct billing to most insurance companies. So, if you're in an accident, there's one name to remember: Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Their name says it all. Ask about their 24-hour towing service, too. Call 232-9400. Find the fast in names and numbers.
Come dine at Mazio's Italian Eatery at 818 South Broadway in Pittsburgh. Mazio's offers a lunch buffet every day from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and reopen the buffet on Monday and Tuesday evenings from 5 to 8. Mazio's offers pizza, pasta, sandwiches, calzones, and a salad bar. So come check out Mazio's Pizzeria today or call 232-3535. Mazio's, a proud sponsor of local athletics.
Back to action with Frontenac Raiders basketball on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Well, we have not just yet been given the national anthem, and I'm sure that will come here soon. And it is. So we are going to step aside for 2 more minutes. When we return, I'll give you the starting lineups. My apologies, but we will be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network.
Success of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Strong teams are something Watco Companies knows all about. And whether we're transloading steel in Houston, repairing rail cars in Pennsylvania, or hauling grain in Australia, Watco is still the same hometown transportation services provider that we started in Pittsburgh, Kansas 35 years ago. The Watco team has close ties to our local communities and would like to wish all our area high school teams safe and successful seasons. Watco Companies, customer first, safety always.
GM Bank has been in the banking business since 1918. That's right. GM Bank has been serving customers like you for over 100 years. We're deeply rooted in the communities we serve with expertise in small business and agriculture. We're time-tested and people-centered. A lot has changed over the last 100 years, but as a family-owned bank, our commitment to our customers has only grown deeper. GM Bank, the best place to bank and borrow. Come see us and let us give you our best. GN-Bank.com.
Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kenley Graham, former NFL Pro Bowler and proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Like you, I love cheering on our gorillas, but our student athletes need our support on more than just game days. That's why I'm asking you to participate in the newly created Silverback Fund. When you give to the Silverback Fund to help fund scholarships for our students to excel athletically and academically, taking the Royal Pride to the next level. Give to the Silverback Fund. Learn more at pittstate.edu/silverback.
More exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5.
All right, we welcome you back here to Frontenac, Kansas, where we have a little bit of obstruction here with our camera with the opposing team student section. We will try to get that fixed here momentarily when we get the opportunity. But let's go ahead and give you your starting lineups for this contest. For the Frontenac Raiders hosting the Prairie View Buffalo. First for the Buffalo, number 4, the 6'1" junior, Justin Scott. Number 12, the 6' senior, Dominic Victor. Number 14, the 6'2" senior, Mason Walker. Number 15, the 6'2" junior, Isaac Partida. And number 23, the 5'11" senior, Blake Bodeker. For your Frontenac Raiders, number 0, the 6'2" senior, Blaine Baldwin. Number 5, the 6'1" senior, Cooper Cleland. Number 13, the 6'1" senior, Cale Franklin. Number 15, the 6' junior, Jake Beckman. And rounding it off for your Frontenac Raiders, number 33, the 6'4" junior, Hayden Pyle. The Frontenac Raiders are coached by head coach Ryan Barcelona, assisted by Troy Morris and Jared Pyle, and with the manager Abe Frederick. Let's get ready to roll, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit of a new look for the Frontenac Raiders, as their star center Noah Brooks is going to be out for a little while with a high ankle sprain, or a high ankle injury, I believe is the case. And stepping into the roster is Jordan Fudge, a 6'7" freshman, as we see Blaine Baldwin lose the tip at the open there. And the Buffalo will start on attack. It's Bloodgood over to the near wing. It's Hyde. No, it's 15, Isaac Partida. And he hits his first of the night, a distance three-pointer. And I apologize for the field goal that it shows. A charge is going to be called as Cooper Cleland gets the steal right off the bat. Jake Beckman with the put in. Gives him 2 points. Frontenac Raiders down 3-2 right now early on. Some scoring happening fast, quick, and in a hurry on both sides. Cross-court pass in transition. I've got to get acclimated to this game already. Blaine Baldwin gets the inbounds and gets it back to Beckman. Beckman's going to slow things down now. A couple transition points early on. Over in the right wing, it's Cooper Cleland. Now Hayden Pyle, top of the key. He tries to dribble in, gets up to the right elbow and knocks it down for 2 points, and that's going to give Frontenac their first lead of the game thus far. Hayden Pyle with 2, Beckman with 2, and now the Buffalo back on the attack. Driving right and going between his legs is Bodeker. Bodeker puts it up from just outside the lane. Shot is no good. Baldwin driving in. He is stripped on his way up and is going to be launched out of bounds. Last touched by Baldwin. So the Buffalo will take over. 4-3 is the score. Frontenac on top by 1. 6:40 left to go here in the first quarter of action, and Frontenac will come out in a full court press. The Buffalo quickly break it as a pass across the half-court line makes it to Walker. Walker to Victor. Little fake handoff gave Victor some wiggle room to get inside, and a traveling violation is going to be whistled on Partida. Right now, the only foul on the floor is Cooper Cleland. The traveling violation is going to give the Raiders the ball. Jake Beckman, a handoff to Baldwin. Baldwin gets over to the left wing and faked the three. So does Cleland. Cleland puts up a floater with the right hand, cannot get it to fall, and it's rebounded by the Buffalo. Streaking across the court is Scott. Scott drives in, and a charge is going to be taken. Big time play by Hayden Pyle, sacrificing his body, and Scott will pick up his first personal foul.
Second in the game now for the Buffaloes, number 55, Riley Ryerson.
Teams first. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Frontenac still leads 4-3. Need to update my scoreboard. Quick shot is no good by Frontenac. And a transition by the Buffalo as they get it to Ryerson in the right wing. Now to Walker. Walker makes his way away from the right elbow. Last touch by Ryerson as it rolls out of bounds on the near sideline. So Cooper Cleland will take over as the point guard. Crosses the half-court line, and they are met by what appears to be a man-to-man defense by the Buffalo. Again, we have a new starter in, Cale Franklin, for the Frontenac Raiders. He is new to the lineup, but not new to the starting lineup, but not new to minutes on the floor. 4-3 still to score, a turnover by the Raiders. And Jake Beckman bats a ball away that was intended for the left wing. It'll still be Buffalo ball with 5 minutes and 15 seconds here in the first. A slow start to say the least. Buffalo kind of rotating it around the perimeter, and it's Walker who's going to put it up from the top of the key for three. Cannot get it to fall. A couple of offensive rebounds for the Buffalo, and finally put up and in is Blake Bodeker, his first 2 points of the game, and that gives the Buffalo 2 points. Driving into the paint is Baldwin. Baldwin going to fly into the paint, but a foul is on the floor. That's going to be on, I believe they called that. Oh, they're going to call that on Ryerson. It's his first personal, team second. 4:45 left to go here in the first. It's Hayden Pyle in the left, hand off to Baldwin. Now Beckman, top of the key. Beckman to the left, it's Cooper Cleland. Nice screen set by Pyle. Inside dump pass. Pyle goes over the top. Cannot hit his shot, but he is sent to the line for 2 shots at the charity stripe. Not a ton of scoring so far. Score is 5-4. The Frontenac Raiders down by 1. Pyle sends his first free throw up, and it is good. So Pyle with 3 points evens out the ball game. Second shot is no good, however. So we're all tied up at 5 all. Over in the left wing, it's Walker. Now it's Ryerson. We have a scuffle on defense, but the Frontenac Raiders are going to take possession. I'm not sure exactly what the call was there. Baldwin in the right wing drives hard, gets underneath the basket and puts it up. Is not able to get his own rebound. Instead, it's going to be picked up. I'm not seeing a 33. There it is. Yeah, there's no 33, but he's standing out there on the court right now. I believe it's supposed to be Bodeker. Bridwell's going to pick up a shooting foul. It's his first personal, shooting 2 for the Buffalo. Will be Walker. He misses his first. Score is still 5 all. A chance for the Buffalo to take the lead here on this shot by Walker. It is up and in, so it's 6-5 now. Inbounds pass to Beckman. Beckman brings the ball up with his left hand and finds Bridwell on the left. Pyle, hand off to Beckman. Beckman drives in and he puts in a Tony Parker style teardrop. That can't fall, however, Pyle is going to take it strong to the basket, a spin move, And that's exactly what the Raiders needed. Pyle being a heavy influence as he steals the ball away, and it's Beckman driving up to the paint. Can't connect, but right there, being his right-hand man, is Cale Bridwell, putting it back in on Beckman's miss. And a push is going to be whistled on Story. Buffalo will retain possession, and that actually kind of bailed out Bodeker, who was nearly met by the half-court trap by the Frontenac Raiders. Bloodgood in the ball game for the Buffalo. Crossing the half-court line now is Bloodgood. Nice screen set. Get Bloodgood some separation. Now it's Rose. Scott checks in for the Buffalo as the ball rolled out of bounds on the Buffalo's last possession. 9-6 is the score. A pass over the top, way too high for Hayden Pyle to reel in to start that offensive possession. Not a great start to it. And the Buffalo quickly break the full court press that the Frontenac Raiders tried to ensue. However, on an inside pass, Hayden Pyle is going to pick it off, and now Frontenac back on the attack. Driving inside was Pyle, and Pyle is going to be whistled on a traveling violation. Frontenac coming out in a full court press. Man-to-man press at that. Hensley's going to be whistled on a hold.
In the game now for the Raiders, number 2, Kubler.
Kubler checks in for him. Buffalo have the ball. Right now it is Scott working against Kubler. Scott drives with the right hand, picks up his dribble, gets it over into the hands of Partita. Partita, one of the bigger men on the floor, dishes it out, and that's Bodeker, who is just unable to hit from 3. Fortunately enough,
Back in the game for the Raiders, also coming back out, Wade Baldwin.
push foul is going to be called on Victor. I believe it's on Victor. It is in fact. So, on the attack now for the Frontenac Raiders, it's Cooper Cleland puts up a mid-range jumper. A debate over who's going to get the rebound, but Cleland does get his own shot, and he puts it back up on the other side of the basket this time for 2 points. 2 more added to Frontenac's score, 11-6. Frontenac on a roll here behind Hayden Pyle, who's just done it all. Scott trying to find some kind of room against Kubler, and finally does, in fact, get it out to Bodeker in the left wing near the baseline. Shot is up, no good. Another three-pointer. As Coach Barcelona said they would try more than their fair share of threes. Lots of fighting underneath the basket on that putback shot. They're going to say there's a foul on the floor. It's going to be against Jake Beckman. McCartney's out on the floor for the Frontenac Raiders. Bounce pass to Scott. Scott can't hit. Rebounded by McCartney. McCartney, great box out on that play. It's Baldwin, top of the key. They get it out to Kubler. Kubler to Cleland. Cleland inside. And I'm not sure where that pass by Cale Franklin was supposed to go, but it ended up getting batted. And I guess they're going to say it was last touched by Frontenac. With 55.9 seconds left here in the first, it's a low-scoring game, 11-6. We're in the final minute of the first quarter. Victor's going to give the inbounds pass. It's a bounce. Does in fact find its way to Bodeker. Bodeker gets a cross-court pass to Scott for the baseline three on the far sideline. And another three-pointer shot up, no good by Rose. This is a team that lives and dies by the three. There's going to be a block on the floor. It's going to be whistled on Bodeker. It's only Bodeker's first. Jake Beckman checking back in for the Raiders. Beckman has 2 points so far. And they're going to whistle a traveling violation on Beckman after he pump faked the three. Neither team can get anything going, just a little in too much of a hurry. Bodeker gets the inbounds pass, picked up by Cleland. And Bodeker's trying to work some fancy footwork on Cleland. Cleland playing sound and consistent defense, staying in front. And that was just fundamentals 101, watching Cooper Cleland on defense. 11-6 is still the score. Not much has changed in the last several minutes, but we're in the final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Baldwin driving in the lane, puts up a shot off the glass. Can't make it fall, and it's Campty with the rebound. Campty with the full court shot, can't connect. And at the end of 8 full minutes, 17 total scored, 11-6, Frontenac on top by 5. We're going to take a 1-minute break. When we return, I'll give you the second quarter of action. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network. And you just saw the athleticism of Cale Franklin as he had that putback shot to increase the lead by 2. 13-6 is the score. Let me update the scoreboard for you guys. And a foul on the floor is a charge against Bodinger. Cooper Cleland with the drive-in pull-up shot from mid-range. A great mix-up there as he has been just charging into the paint. Not charging necessarily, but you get the idea. Nice pump fake there by Bodeker. Gives him 2 more points. Score now 15-8 with 7 minutes left to go here in the first half of action. Roll around. Now it's a lob pass over the top to Pyle. Pyle can't reel it in. It's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by the Frontenac Raiders. So Buffalo ball it is. 6:50 here in the first half. 15-8. Frontenac's going to come out in a full court press. Trying to get a half court trap, and they just nearly do. Ball is over the top and in the hands of Rose. Rose, top of the key to Partita. Back to Rose in the right wing for three and knocks it down. It's his first three of the night. First points of the night, rather, and the score is 15-11. Frontenac just leading by 4, and a turnover in transition is going to lead to a foul on the floor. No, it's going to be called a shooting foul, and that'll be against Beckman. No, it'll be against Cale Bridwell instead. Partita is sent to the line to shoot 2. First shot is nothing but net. Second shot is underway. 6:15 left to go here in the first half. 15-12. Second shot no good. Remains 15-12. Frontenac on the attack. It's Beckman with the floater. Rattles around the rim and kicked back out. That's the third time this half that Beckman has had a great look at the ball, or had a great look at the goal. One is just barely unable to connect on the shot. Partita thought about the three-pointer. Said he's going to dish it off to Ryerson. Ryerson at the low block. And he's going to be whistled on a traveling violation as he kicked it out to Rose. Ryerson shaking his head saying no way. But not in a fashion where the officials can see, or if they did, they just didn't think too much of it. It's Baldwin for an uncontested three-pointer, well short of its mark. 15-12, still the score here with 5:30 left in the first half. Buffalo back on the attack on the defensive rebound. Off of the defensive rebound, rather. Partita has the ball at the top of the key. He's picked up his dribble and finally found Rose over in the right wing. Rose dribbles across the arc and finds his way over in the left wing. His pocket is picked, and Bridwell is on the attack. And Bridwell as well as Franklin were both trying to get it going in transition, but it was 2-on-3, and it was taken over by the Buffalo. Now back on the attack, Rose thought about the three-pointer, did not take it with Baldwin in his face. Instead, he will dish it out to Bodeker. Tried the three. Didn't hit. And they're going to call Baldwin on a block. Or a push. They're going to call Baldwin on a push off that shot. Bodeker got a steal in transition, came back, and Baldwin was the only line of defense. He blocked the shot, but not without a little skin-to-skin contact. And that makes the score what it is now, 15-12, barring this next shot by Bodeker. Missed his first free throw. It's 4:45 left in the first half. Victor checks back into the ball game. So does Walker. Second shot by Bodeker is good. Makes the score 15-13. Frontenac still on top by 2 with 4:35 left to go here in the first half. It's Bridwell. Shot up, no good. McCartney with a strong arm going back up with the left hand, and it knocks in. Great second chance effort there by McCartney. And Frontenac keeping their lead. Cleland with a turnover on defense. That gives Frontenac the ball back. Hayden Pyle driving inside. There's a foul on the floor. They're going to call that against Bodeker. A push. Bodeker with his third personal foul and a timeout on the court. It's going to be called by Frontenac. It's a 30-second timeout, and we'll take it with him. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streamed live at ESPN1007.com.
Selection of gifts, sporting goods, events, and entertainment, plus terrific places to eat.
Back here in Frontenac, Kansas, where Hayden Pyle is set to shoot his free throws. Score is 18-13. Pyle misses his second free throw after making the first. 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. Top of the key, uncontested three, and it's Bodeker who knocks it in. Bodeker has 6 points in this quarter, 7 or 8 on the night. 18-16 is the score. Frontenac leads by 2. Hayden Pyle, top of the key, a pump fake over to the left. Puts the ball up strong with his right hand, is not able to hit. However, he is sent back to the line. So far tonight, Pyle is 50% from the line, 2 for 4. And sinks his first one on this set. Now he's 3 for 5, shooting 60%. Second shot is up and rattles around the rim and is back inside. And he has hit 4 for 6. A solid 66% free throw shooting thus far. Frontenac comes out in a full court press. The Buffalo get it to Scott. Scott brings it across the half-court line, loses control, and it is McCartney who takes it coast to coast and scores it for 2. Great full-court press there by McCartney and company. 4 points now for McCartney, and it hits a runner hit by Scott in transition. So Scott gets a little bit of redemption on that last play. That makes the score 22-18. Hayden Pyle has done a great job from the line so far tonight. And really everyone has done a great job defensively. As many threes as this team takes, they have not allowed but 2, I believe. Inbounds pass as Frontenac comes back out on the full court press. And they're going to call an illegal screen on Rose. That's Rose's first personal foul. Team's 9th. So one more foul and Frontenac will be in the double bonus, already in the single bonus. Some deliberation. Not sure what exactly is happening. But Jake Beckman's going to be taking 2 shots from the charity stripe alone. First shot's up and good. Beckman has not had a whole lot of scoring opportunities so far, but he has 3 on the night right now. Both free throws are good. And that extends the lead for the Raiders, 24-18, a 6-point advantage here in the second quarter. Frontenac will get the ball back off a technical. Beckman drives in and a push is going to be whistled. Beckman sent back to the line once again. That shot was blocked, but not without a little skin-to-skin contact. 24-18, 2:49 left here in the first half. Beckman gets 2 more shots from the stripe. First shot up and in. 25-18 now the score. Chance to make this an 8-point game should Beckman hit his second. He's hit 3 for 3 on the night so far, knock on wood. Bodeker checks back in for the Buffaloes. Buffalo, plural. And Beckman does, in fact, hit his 4th in a row. He is 4 for 4 tonight from the charity stripe. Bodeker working against Beckman, and he blows past Beckman on a triple move. Knocking it in from deep is Rose. Rose has had a couple of those today. That's his second three-pointer, and he has 6 points on the night. 25-21. And Cleveland returns with his own. And Bodeker hits another long two this time. He's done quite the work here in the second quarter. Beckman trying to get a shot up. Heavy traffic. They're going to call a foul on McCartney. Maybe a push over the back. Both teams from here on out will be in the double bonus upon a foul. With 1:51 left, Frontenac leads 29-23. First free throw no good by Rose as they go over to the other side of the court and start shooting. Rose's second shot attempt is underway, and it's up and rattles off the backside of the iron. No good. Rebounded by McCartney. McCartney to Cleveland. The Buffalo are not going to come out in a full court press to stop Cleveland, so now it's Beckman in the left wing. Beckman tries a double move with a screen by McCartney to Pyle at the top of the key. Pyle fakes a handoff, and he's all alone, streaking up to the basket with the right hand. Excellent move there by Pyle. That's his first points coming from the floor and not the stripe this quarter for Pyle. 31-23 is the score. And a nice missed shot and rebound by the Frontenac Raiders gives Beckman the ball to Cleveland. Cleveland stutter stepped a little bit. Now it's McCartney for three. Throws it up, and the shot is no good, but he's fouled behind the line. And that's going to send him to the charity stripe for 3 chances at points. 31-23, the Frontenac Raiders on top by 8. McCartney with his first chance from the free throw line tonight. First shot up, high arcing shot is good. No rim necessary. See if he can go 2 for 2. Second shot is underway, rattles off the front side of the iron. Is well off its mark. Victor checks back into the ball game. And so does Cale Franklin. McCartney with his third and final free throw attempt. Shot is up, it looks good, and it is. So McCartney misses one, makes 2, makes him 66%. A push is going to be whistled on Franklin. That's his second personal foul. Team's over the limit, and we are going to be shooting free throws for essentially the remainder of this first half. 1 minute and 4 seconds, and Frontenac leads 33-24 after that first made shot by Victor. That's Victor's first point of the ball game. Second shot is up and in. So 2 made shots by Victor. Makes it 33-25. Shot down low is rebounded by Franklin. Franklin put the shot up, did not connect, and now it's Bodeker with the ball working against Cleveland. And a charge is going to be called on Bodeker. No. They're going to call that whistle on Walker. That's his first personal. It was a moving screen. 35 seconds left in the first half. 33-25 is the score. Frontenac on top by just 8 points. Cleveland drives into the paint with the left-hand lay-in. It is just, he makes it look too easy, ladies and gentlemen, too easy. He has 6 points in the second quarter as Bodeker crosses the half-court line, picked up by Beckman. Beckman with a handoff to Rose. Rose, a little crossover back to Bodeker, top of the key, picked up by Beckman. Beckman nearly picking his pockets Instead, it's back to Rose for the mid-range jumper, and it's blocked away. Rebounded by Bodeker. Shot no good. And that's the way we will end the first half of play. The Frontenac Raiders up 35-25, a 10-point advantage. And in this is the best first half of basketball I think I've seen the Raiders play thus far. It has been sloppy every once in a while, but for the most part they have kept it pretty clean. They have played tenacious on defense and in the transition and full court press, which has helped much in part to their success. We are at the intermission. Frontenac Raiders on top by 10, 35-25. We're going to take a 3-minute break. When we return, we'll go over the first half of scoring and let you know what's going to be happening around the league and on our broadcast schedule here at the MyTown Media Radio Network. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on 103.5 Radio X, The Evolution, as well as watching it streamed live on ESPN1007.com.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it's now Pittsburgh's dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler's manufactured its trademark yellow mowers for over 50 years, each mower being distributed right here in Kansas. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockert at Wilbur & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbur & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
I'm Jill Como from Como Jewelry. When you come into our store, be ready to feel some love. Yes, you'll find diamonds and jewelry that sparkle like crazy. But the most important part of our business isn't what's in the cases. It's who walks in our door. It's you. At Como Jewelry, our promise is this. We'll love you like nobody's business, because taking care of you is our business. So stop by to hear someone call your name. Como Jewelry in Joplin at 20th and Rangeline, and in Pittsburgh in front of the Meadowbrook Mall.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here alongside my cameraman Austin Souter, and back in studio is Jacob Ryan pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. Score is 35-25. Frontenac with one of their larger leads of the ball game, and definitely the largest lead that they've had going into a halftime intermission. Well, Coach Ryan Barcelona said it best when he talked to Mike Snow in our pregame show. He said this was a team that would fire a lot of three-pointers, and they are going to average about 26 threes per game. And even if they hit, even if they hit 50% of those on a good day, that's still 33 points coming from the three-point line. And that's a dangerous stat. I mean, if they attempt more than that and they are shooting at a 40% rate, which they are not tonight, by the way, but even if they do catch fire and are able to hit from deep as they are, they have Bodeker, who is well-versed from the three-point line. They have Rose, who will take several shots from that distance. These are all players. Victor will also do the same. These are all players that will be streaky. The thing about streaky teams is they're either going to beat you by a lot or they're going to get beat by a lot. Streaky teams that rely on three-pointers, that is. And right now, Frontenac has done a great job of closing out on shooters, and we will look to see them do even more of that in the second half as we approach the final 2.5 minutes of the halftime intermission. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll do the scoring summary and get ready for the second half of action. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streamed live on ESPN1007.com.
World-class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World-class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
Welcome back as we enter the second half of action, just a little bit earlier than it probably should have started. Neither here nor there. Nonetheless, we are back with more Frontenac Raider basketball. Nothing's been scored thus far, despite the early start, or early restart as it were. An inbounds pass from Victor to Bodeker. Bodeker loses the dribble between his legs, but picks it right back up. And in transition, for the first time tonight, Yeah, for the first time tonight, Partita hits a 2. And that's going to make the score 35-27. Still an 8-point advantage for the Raiders. In the left wing is Franklin. Now it's Baldwin, top of the key. Baldwin working against Bodeker. Now Pyle with a handoff to Cleland. Back to Franklin. And now it's Beckman. Beckman, Pyle, left wing, a handoff. No, a fake handoff. Still Pyle as he does a turnaround jumper off the glass. Hayden Pyle. What an athletic move to add to his resume on the night. 37-27. Pass is batted away by Beckman. Excellent heads-up play there by Jake. 6:30 left to go here in the third quarter. And Frontenac still on top by 10. Ball now in the hands of Scott. Scott over to the right wing is Walker. Walker to Partita. And now it's Bodeker once again. Partita. Now Walker takes sets the screen. Gives Bodeker a nice lane to the rim. Shot is up and no good. However, there is a foul on the floor. And that's going to be against Blaine Baldwin. Baldwin picks up his second personal foul. Team's first of the half. Shot is up by Bodeker, and it is good. So Bodeker has 11 points on the night thus far. Second shot is good as well. That brings the score 37-29. 6:10 left to go here in the third quarter. Baldwin in the left wing for the Raiders. Bounce pass inside is intended for Franklin. There's a push on the floor. That's going to be against Bodeker. Bodeker has 4 personal fouls now. We may not see him for the remainder of the third quarter after this dead ball. This next dead ball, rather. Pyle drives in, puts it up from about 8 feet out. Can't connect off the glass. It's 5:55 left to go. Still 37-29. Partita driving the baseline. A push is going to be called on the floor, I believe, against Beckman, and it will be. Beckman picks up his first personal foul. And giving the inbounds pass for the Buffalo is Walker. Walker looking for Partita. Gets the bounce pass. Cooper Cleland is there to bat it away. Still Buffalo ball. (37-29). 5:50 left to go here in the third. Long pass out to Scott. He went behind the half-court line. Scott working around a couple of screens by his fellow Buffalo. Partita, the left wing near the baseline, puts it up after a Euro step. Can't connect. It's Hayden Pyle with a rebound. Pyle gets it to Baldwin. Baldwin to Cleland, and Cleland can't hit from three-point land. Now driving the other direction is Scott. Scott drives into traffic and it's stolen away by Beckman. Beckman's trying to get into a foot race, and he puts it up and off the glass. Walker was there, but could not contest it. So Beckman picks up 2 more points. He has 8 on the night. Beckman's going back on the transition shot. 2 more for Jake Beckman. And I haven't been doing much on the scoreboard, but it is now 41-29. Frontenac has been on a scoring spree, and we'll see if this is going to be a full timeout or not. Doesn't look like the referee is going to say one way or the other, but 41-29 is the score with right underneath 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Frontenac on a scoring spree. Let's take over the scoring summary, at least for the first half. I have not tallied up everything in the second half just yet. But leading all scorers for the Buffalo is Bodeker. He has 10. Behind him is Rose with 6. Partita with 4. Victor and Scott both with 2. And Walker with 1. And then for the Frontenac Raiders, Hayden Pyle now has 12 points. Behind him was Cleland with 8. Franklin Beckman and McCartney both with 6, but Beckman now has 10 after that 4-point spree that he had. And Franklin has 2. So ball now in the hands of Scott. Scott tries to get it away, and finally it's in the hands of Partita. Walker with the ball in the right wing, picked up by Baldwin. He's picked up his dribble, finds Rose. Rose drives in. He's going to be whistled out of bounds. Rose was whistled out of bounds on the left baseline. That's going to give Frontenac back the basketball. 41-29 the score with 4:40 left to go here in the third. Baldwin crosses the half-court line, the 6'2" senior in the right wing. It's Cooper Cleland who tries to pass it inside to Baldwin. They're going to call a push on Rose. That's Rose's 3rd personal foul, team's 2nd of the half. Hayden Pyle gets the inbounds pass. And now it's Baldwin in the low post. Pyle with a double take. They're going to call a foul this time on Victor. That's Victor's 3rd personal foul as well. Team's 3rd. So Cooper Cleland, Beckman, Baldwin, Pyle, and Franklin out on the court for the Raiders. Beckman drives into the paint, puts a shot up. It's blocked away by Scott. No. Yeah, it was Scott. But a little skin to skin. He's going to send Beckman to the line. Beckman's been very good as of late. He has hit all 4 of the free throws he's attempted today. And as I say that, he misses his 5th. So far, Beckman has 10 points. Chance to make it 11 on this made free throw. Coach Ryan Barcelona wants to talk to the referee about something. It has something to do with McCartney. I think he saw some blood. McCartney laughing about it, as I guess there wasn't any. Second shot by Beckman is up and no good, but there's a lane violation. Goes against the Frontenac Raiders. So 41-29 still the score. 4:21 left to go here in the third quarter. Bounce pass to Scott. Scott gets it to Walker. Walker to Bloodgood. Bloodgood with the full court press. He finds Partita. Partita puts it up and off the glass for 2 points. Partita now has 8 on the night. It's Beckman top of the key. He is picked up by Scott. Buffalo are running a man-to-man defense. It's Baldwin now top of the key. He's met by Bloodgood. McCartney gets a lob pass to Baldwin. Baldwin drives to the baseline, the turnaround move to the basket. Good for 2 more points. And Baldwin gets onto the scoreboard. Finally, he has 2. Foul on the floor. Bodeker is back on the floor for the Buffalo. 31-43. Lob pass over the top to Baldwin. Baldwin is going to drive to the left, put it up with his right hand, and 2 more points now for Baldwin. They have discovered a mismatch down low. Baldwin not exactly the heaviest on the court, but a double clutch in transition by Bloodgood. It's good for 2 points. 45-33. Frontenac on the attack. They're slowing things down just a little bit now. McCartney in the right wing. And it's over to Beckman, top of the key. Beckman working against Scott. He's going to cut across down to the far side of the baseline. Pass is batted away, and it's in the hands of Walker. Now Taken down by Scott. Scott, a kick out to Bloodgood. Bloodgood to Walker. Walker for three. Rattles in and out, no good. But Partita has it, puts it back up for a second chance opportunity, and a kick out to Scott. Scott takes the three himself. Can't get it to fall. Bloodgood gets the rebound. Bloodgood flies out of bounds. And that's going to give the ball to the Frontenac Raiders. Several second chance opportunities for the Buffalo, none of which transpired into points. 45-33, 2:25 left in the third. And Beckman's calling out the plays. Baldwin in the left wing. Screen set. He gets it to Franklin. Franklin to Beckman. Beckman top of the key. And they find Story, who is seeing some minutes here late. McCartney, a kick out to Beckman. Beckman thought about the three in the near baseline. Near side of the baseline, rather. McCartney to Story. Story with a bullet pass inside. Intended for Franklin. And they're going to call a reach. They're going to call 3 seconds in the lane on Frontenac. So 45-33 still a score. A minute 53 left in the third. Ball in the hands of Scott. And batted away by Beckman. Driving up and on the steal is McCartney in for 2 points. Great heads up and full court press. McCartney has 8 points on the night now. This full court press has paid dividends for the Frontenac Raiders. There's a foul on the floor. Beckman's going to be whistled for his second personal foul of the game. No, it's a shooting foul. Third for the team of this half. Shooting two from the line is Scott. His first one's good. He's got 3 on the night now. .133 left here in the third quarter. Frontenac holds a 13-point lead. Second shot is no good. And now it's Cleland. He passes to Baldwin. Baldwin mishandles the pass, and it rolls out of bounds. So the Buffalo will take control. Ball now in the hands of Bodeker. Bodeker gets it all the way down, and just a cluster of both white and green in the low block make it very difficult for anything to get done. Walker's going to give the inbounds pass from the near side of the baseline on the left-hand side of your radio dial. Walker trying to find anybody, and he finally does in Bodeker. Bodeker gets the ball batted away from him by Story. A traveling violation, I'm sure, is going to be whistled. No. Bodeker trying everything in his pocket. But they're going to call it on Cale Bridwell, his third personal foul. Team's fourth. Now in the hands of Walker. Kick out to Scott. Scott for 3, knocked it down. And just like that, Prairie View has brought it back to within 10. It's 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. Frontenac on the attack. Inside pass to Cooper Cleland. And it's batted away by the Buffalo, and now in the hands of Bodeker. Bodeker pulls up from three-point land and knocks it down himself. I told you this team would take a lot of three-pointers. And if they get streaky, it can be dangerous. Game within 7 now, 47-40. Frontenac still on top by 7. And a 30-second timeout will be called by Coach Ryan Barcelona. We'll take it with him. Sending it back to the studio for 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the ESPN 100.7, ESPN1007.com. I am at a loss for words. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here alongside Austin Souter, our cameraman, and Jacob Ryan back in studio. Frontenac has the ball, and Cooper Cleland crosses the half-court line as he calls out plays for his team. Hayden Pyle to his left, McCartney to his right. Cleland just dribbling the ball and not really running anywhere with it, but he finally does get it to Pyle. Pyle drives into the lane, puts up a floater, and it just kind of exploded out of nowhere. Pyle has 4 points in the quarter with 0.5 seconds left here in the third. Frontenac leads 49-40. Walker's going to get the inbounds pass as Frontenac comes out in a full court press. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. At the end of 24 minutes of play, Frontenac 49, Prairie View 40. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streamed live on ESPN 1007.com.
World-class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World-class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. It's Blaine Baldwin in the right wing as we begin the fourth quarter. Roll it around to Cale Franklin. Now Beckman top of the key to Hayden Pyle. Pyle with a little turnaround. Gets an inside pass to Beckman. Beckman flying up and in for 2 points to start the fourth quarter. A brilliant pass from Pyle to Beckman. That's going to be a nice assist in the column. And a steal by Cooper Cleland. As Blaine Baldwin was streaking up, he thought he was going to get the alley-oop. 51-40 is the score. Frontenac leads by 11. That's going to send Cooper Cleland to the line. First shot is up and in. And those are the first free throws that Cleland has shot this game. By the way, that'll be Hyde's first personal foul. Second shot was no good for Cleland. And Bodeker with the ball, top of the key. He is picked up by Beckman. Over to Victor. Victor to Scott. Scott driving with the left hand on the left side of the lane and puts it up and in for 2 points. And now it's 52-42, 54-42 as Cooper Cleland just cleaned it up on the offensive side of the glass. Hook shot driving inside was Cale Franklin. He couldn't get it to go, and now the Buffalo are back on the attack. It's 54-42. Shot is up by Bodeker. Can't get it to fall, and he gets his own rebound. He's put up by three-point land, and he just nearly stepped behind the half-court line, which would have been a backcourt violation. But instead, Scott picks it up. He's going to drive to the right. Rose puts up a three-point shot. That was heavily contested. And a behind-the-back save for Bodeker. Going to be put in the hands of Scott. Scott for three, can't hit. And there's a foul on the floor. That foul is going to be on number 12. That's Victor. That's his 4th personal. One more, and he is done. 54-42 is the score. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Inside pass to Pyle. Pyle finds Cleveland on the outside. Now it's Cale Franklin at the top of the key. Over to Baldwin in the right wing. Inside pass to Pyle. Pyle with a power dribble. Little bunny hop pass to Pyle. Pyle for the 16-footer and couldn't get it to go. It's rebounded by Bodeker. Bodeker crosses the half-court line, streaking down the court. Stripped away by Baldwin. Baldwin all alone. Thought he was going to put in the dunk, but he ended up going for the layup. Beckman gets the rebound, and he puts it back in for 2. And Beckman doing a fantastic job here of getting second chance efforts. A full timeout here in Frontenac, Kansas, and we'll take it with them. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network. We resume 4th quarter action here in Frontenac, Kansas. Right now your Raiders lead the Buffalo of Prairie View 56-42, a 14-point advantage. Bodeker has the ball against the Raiders, and he nearly crosses the half-court line, met by the half-court trap, but he breaks it. Bodeker driving into the lane with an underhand shot, and Bodeker puts in his first 2 of the 4th quarter. 56-44, an impressive shot of the circus variety. Franklin to Pyle. Pyle to Cleveland. Pyle thought about the 3. He really did. But Beckman's now restarts the offense at the top of the key, and he finds Cleveland at the left wing. Pyle, top of the key. Little triple threat. Pulls up from just outside the paint. Can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Scott. Scott crosses the half-court line, picked up by Cleveland. He drives the length of the court, puts it off the glass, can't connect, but Pyle gets the rebound. Still 56-44, 4:20 left to go here in the 4th. Crossing the half-court line is Beckman. Beckman to Cleveland in the right. Now Beckman top of the key. He has Pyle next to him. And he has Bridwell to his right. Bridwell top of the key. Franklin in the left. Cleveland faked like he was going to get it and cut towards the basket. Now it's Beckman. Bridwell. Franklin in the right. Cleveland once again top of the key. The Buffalo come out in what looks like a 2-3 zone defense, but it's actually a man-to-man. And they're going to call a blocking foul. No, they will not. They'll call a charge on Hayden Pyle. That's Pyle's first personal foul of the night, which is pretty impressive all in all. 56-44 is the score. 3:40 left to go in the final quarter of action. Bodeker with the ball as he crosses the half-court line. Beckman falls to the ground, rebounded by Ryerson. And Ryerson falls to the ground. It looks like he may have hurt his wrist on that play. They're going to call Cale Franklin with the foul. That's his third personal. Team's 6th. Inbounds pass coming from Victor. Victor inside to Partita. Partita puts up a shot that's no good, but he's sent to the line for a chance at 2. 56-44, still the score. 3:28 left to go in the 4th. First shot by Partita is up and in. Something happened on the Raiders sideline that's causing the officials to deliberate. But Partita is back on the line, ready to shoot his second. 56-45 is the score. Frontenac leads by 11. 3:28 left to go in the fourth. Second shot is up and no good. And it's rebounded by Bridwell. That foul will be on Partita. That's his second personal. Both teams in the single bonus, so that will send Cale Bridwell to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Hayden Pyle checks back into the contest. He will give Cale Franklin a break. Bridwell cannot connect with his. Nearly gets his own rebound. But instead, McCartney is going to steal it away, loses control, and it's back in the hands of Bodeker. Distance three taken by Scott. Shot is no good. Last touch by Ryerson as it falls out of bounds. Inbounds pass to Pyle. Pyle to Baldwin. Baldwin's met by Bodeker. Now it's Beckman to McCartney, top of the key. Pyle. Frontenac just kind of playing keep away. Fake to the cutting Baldwin and instead got it to Beckman in the left. Back to McCartney, top of the key. Beckman back to the top of the key. He's met by the man-to-man defense from the Buffalo. Cooper Cleland to Beckman. Back to Pyle. Pyle's moving to the left, and he finds Beckman. Beckman, Pyle, and Cleland all just kind of rotating around with the occasional lob pass to Baldwin as they just did to the left wing. Playing keep away as often as possible, and a foul on Ryerson is going to send Hayden Pyle to the line. That's Ryerson's second personal foul. Team's eighth. 56-45 is the score. Pyle's first shot is up and in. It's the first free throw Pyle has attempted in a little while. But he is, after that second made, he is 6 for 8. Shooting 75% thus far. Checking in for Prairie View will be just about a whole new group. And Frontenac still with a majority of starters in. A whole new group of players that have really not seen the court thus far, with the exception of Rose. Ball in the hands of Davis at the top of the key. Davis is going to be whistled by for a traveling violation. 1:45 left in regulation. Frontenac on top, 58-45. And this full timeout taken by Coach Ryan Barcelona will likely be a substitution timeout. But it is a full timeout nonetheless, so we're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network.
What's the buzz around Community National
Well, they brought the action back onto the court a little prematurely, if you ask me. The full timeout was called, and they spent about 40 seconds of it. But a 30-second timeout was called just as Frontenac was finished with their offensive possession. No points came of that possession, but sure enough, Frontenac did put in a whole new squad. And for Frontenac right now, they have Kyle Kubler, Hessong, McCartney, who was in the game before, Sieber, Mangini, and Mancini. The only player on the court with points right now is McCartney. And Cade Bloodgood just scored 2 for the Buffalo. A timeout by Frontenac, and I'm not really sure why we're doing this with 1 minute and 8 seconds and leading by 10. But we are doing it nonetheless. Sorry, that was a 3 made by Bloodgood. There's a chance that Coach Ryan Barcelona will send his starters back out there. I know he has one more timeout left, but it's still questionable. You'd think a 10-point lead would be safe with a minute to go, but crazier things have happened. And I have not changed our scoreboard to indicate it is the fourth quarter, although I have said it a handful of times. Checking into the ballgame are the original starters, just as I had presumed, as Buffalo had brought it back within 10. Now it's the original starters versus what are a mixture between the first and the third stringers for Prairie View. Inbounds pass to Beckman. Beckman crosses the half-court line. He gets it to Pyle, and Pyle is immediately fouled and sent to the charity stripe, which honestly is not the smartest move, but it needed to be done. Pyle is shooting 75% today. He is 6 of 8. 58-48. Chance to make this a 12-point game as Pyle sinks his first. He is now 7 of 9. Chance to make himself 80% on the night, shooting 8 for 10 if he sinks the second. 70% if he misses. And he does miss, so 70% on the night from the free throw line for Pyle. 59-48. Deep 3 taken. Bounces a couple times off the rim by Bodeker. Shot is no good and rebounded, but unfortunately he stepped out of bounds. So that won't count as a defensive rebound. And a distance 3 is taken by Scott. Scott has 5 points in the half. I'm sorry, he has 9 points in the half, 5 points in the quarter, and immediately Cooper Cleland is fouled. Partita is going to pick up, I believe, his third personal foul. Yes, it is his third. So Cooper Cleland is going to shoot 2 from the line. He's now in the double bonus. Cleland's first shot is good. 2 for 3 tonight. Trying to make it an even 75% off of a make. However, he missed it, so he's shooting 50. Nice bounce pass to Bodeker. Bodeker with a turnaround jump shot with the right hand. Or actually more like a right hand hook, baby hook. And Cleland once again instantly fouled. Score is 60-51. Contrary to what my scoreboard says. 27.6 seconds left as Cleland misses his first of 2 free throws. Right now Cleland has 13 points and he misses his second as well. Turnaround fake handoff. Scott airballed his 3-pointer. 19.7 seconds left. Cleland is going to inbounds it to Baldwin. Baldwin does not grab the pass. Shot is put up and no good by the Buffalo. Cleveland is going to grab the pass and hopefully let the final 3 seconds expire. And Beckman will drive it over to the far baseline, sideline corner to let the final 5 seconds expire. And Frontenac picks up their first victory of the season. They improve to 1-2 after defeating this talented but streaky Prairie View Buffalo team. And what a night it was for a handful of these young players, but more specifically, Hayden Pyle, with the absence of Noah Brooks on the high ankle sprain. Pyle ended with 17 points to lead his team. Maybe not. Yeah, Beckman was next in line. He had 14. Cooper Cleland also had Cooper Cleland had 12. Sorry, I was reading my 2 tally marks as 11 and thought that did not make sense whatsoever, and it does not. Baldwin had only 4, though. Not one of Baldwin's better scoring nights, but he did handle the ball very well. Didn't get to shoot any free throws. McCartney actually ended pretty respectably with 8. Franklin with 2. Did not score at all in the second half, but did an excellent job filling in when he needed to, especially with the missing starter in Noah Brooks. A lot of these guys had to play a few more minutes than they are probably used to, but they still pulled out a win against a team that shot a lot of three-pointers, shot early, shot often, and nonetheless, they pulled out a victory, and they will get a little bit of a break as they wait for the tournament out in Webb City, where they will play on Saturday. Pittsburgh High will also play in Webb City on Saturday. I believe the Frontenac game starts at 8:30. The Pittsburgh High game starts around 7. We will give you more information as that date approaches. We're going to take a 2-minute break. I'm going to go down and make sure all of the stats that I have are pretty congruent or the same with those of the score tables. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the wrap-up as well as a quick overview of what will be happening in our coverage area. You're listening to Frontenac Raider basketball on the MyTown Media Radio Network and streamed live on ESPN1007.com. Heath Atkins here in Frontenac, Kansas, where your Frontenac Raiders took down Prairie View 60-51, a 9-point advantage against, like I said, a streaky team that shot the ball early, shot the ball often, and shot the ball from distance. Let's give you a look at what will be coming up in our broadcast schedule here in the near future. Tomorrow, Pittsburgh High will host Chanute. Avi Sharma will have the play-by-play on that contest. Also tomorrow, St. Mary's Colgan will host Baxter Springs. Shelby White will have that. On the 15th, Saturday, Frontenac will play Neosho at Webb City at 8:30. Shelby and I will have the play-by-play on that. That's 8:30 a.m. And then Pittsburgh High will be at Webb City. And that game should happen around 7 p.m., depending on the games that happened prior. On the 18th, Colgan hosts Iola. Avi Sharma will have the play-by-play for that one. And then also on the 18th, Pittsburgh High will be at Fort Scott. It will be likely that Shelby White will have that call. And Frontenac will be at Riverton. And myself, Heath Adkins, will be the call, or the play-by-play man for that. Take a look around the CNC for those who are interested in what all else will be happening outside or inside of our broadcast schedule. Friday, Columbus will be at Riverton. Tomorrow, that is. And Girard on Monday will be at Altamont. Tuesday the 18th, Galena will be at Baxter Springs. January, after the 18th, there will be the Christmas break, of course, where there will be no games. And then at the beginning of the new year, we will kick it off with Friday the 4th. Columbus will be at Girard, Galena here at Frontenac, Riverton at Colgan, and Jasper, Missouri at Baxter Springs. That's a look of what will be going on around the CNC League, as well as what will be going on for our MyTown Media Radio Network broadcasting schedule. Once again, the Frontenac Raiders defeat the Prairie View Buffalo 60-51, and that is the final from here inside of the Frontenac High School Gymnasium. Special thanks to Jacob Ryan back in studio for pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. Special thanks to Austin Souter for running the camera and keeping the eyes on the court for those of you watching on ESPN1007.com. And thanks for everyone who listened. We will be back with the game against Neosho on Saturday. You have been listening to Radio X 103.5 and watching the live stream on ESPN1007.com. Good night, everybody, and have a safe trip home.